All right, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
This is Conversations with the Crawlers. We do conversations about faith, family, relationships, and we back to Ready to Love.
Ready to Love is back. It seemed like they were gone forever.
It does feel like that way.
It felt like
now
forever.
They had that little show in between Ready to Love, Make a Move.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah, we did talk.
But it just feels like the OG Ready to Love. It was like, is it coming back? Is it gonna make it?
Right.
It's back and it's in Philadelphia.
Yes, so, a new city,
which
was good.
City of brotherly love.
Okay, and some brothers trying to find some love.
Some, yeah. But listen, if this is content that you enjoy, you know what to do by now. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications.
And share.
We'll see you in the comments. Consider becoming a member and checking out the merch store. And it's been a while, but we back. We back on it.
We on
and
it.
We're going to talk about this show. So they start every time very quickly, right? Okay. It's hard to catch all the names.
Yes, their ages, what they do. And so I'm like, oh my God, y'all. They were starting out strong. I was like, okay. And then they were like, psst, they ain't gonna be here long. And then they start going.
I do miss that when they did the preview show or whatever to at least kind of get to know before we jump into it. But
hey, if the budget's cut, we got it.
Listen, Tommy just like, look, I got a job.
Yep.
So the first person to show up is Deanna. She's 35. She's a firefighter. And one of the things she talks about is that she feels she has to have a masculine exterior for her role and for her job, but she wants something, you know, she's looking for someplace that she can kind of maintain that feminine energy, right?
That's what she said.
That's her words, right? We got Naeem, who's 42. He's a gym owner. He came. He's we'll find out a little later that he does fitness and nutrition.
Yes.
And he was adopted.
Yes.
After that, it was like, here's True, here's Wayne, here's Angie. Angie was engaged.
Right. So, and her fiance died.
Yes.
That's like heartbreak. She's like, he had everything I wanted. She was like going down the list. And I thought I had the man of my dreams. And he passed away.
Yeah, it looks like, from what she said, he had a heart attack in his sleep.
Yes,
so, yeah.
That's hard. Woo.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Yes. So then next there's Eddie, who's a general contractor. He's 31. Kiera, who's a 33-year-old insurance specialist. She says she was a spoiled princess. And it comes off that way.
She does.
I think she has that energy.
She reminds me of the chick that used to be the cheerleader in that last.
In the last one,
yeah.
Yes.
She give me those vibes.
Yes. Although that last, the one from last, I know who you're talking about. She made some statements as far as like, that was like she didn't acknowledge that she had black in her or something like that. It was like,
no, she was a little
bougie.
more. Yes, there you go.
Okay,
there we go. We're gonna keep moving. We ain't talking about last season, but she reminds me.
Yes, Bougetto.
If you can type that word out in the comments.
Oh yeah, I'll put it out there. Bougetto.
Oh, okay.
Bougetto.
Bougetto.
All right. You might have an H in there depending upon where you're from. Depending upon which part of the hood you're from. You might put an H in there somewhere. All right. If you're real Bougetto.
I'm gonna watch it so let's see you spell that out for us.
I'm gonna put it out there for y'all. All right, so then we have Jay, who's 34. He's a cybersecurity specialist. Deanna's feeling Jay.
Early
on.
I was like, y'all be careful. Y'all start feeling these, start talking about he my man. He my man.
I'm gonna stay there right now. So y'all know that one of the things on this channel that I can be is I can be a little petty. I can be just a little bit petty.
Give me a T-T-Y. I'm petty all the time.
All right, so I can be a little petty. I'm gonna let y'all know that. All right, I'm gonna reserve my pettiness right now until we get a little further in, right? Because some of y'all haven't gotten to know me just yet, or it's been a while. Sahara, named after the desert. She's 35. Now, she said her psychic told her that she would meet her person in July. So I'm assuming this was filmed around that time.
Yeah.
She's talking about she's a spiritualist. She's burned candles, not to get men, but to get rid of men.
Yeah. Hey. People are going to the last resort to get rid of people and to bring people in their lives. We'll talk more of it as we go along.
We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it. This is an introduction.
This is just the introduction. Some of y'all ain't seen this in a minute.
I know.
So, all right.
We got to get real comfortable again. We got to pick it up like where we left off.
Yeah. So Tommy comes out and, of course, is, hey, Tommy.
Tommy. I was like, Tommy lost some weight.
Remember, Tommy was sick in one of the reunions. It was like Tommy couldn't do it because he was sick.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's having health challenges completely or if whatever, maybe he's
look good.
Changing his diet, all that fun stuff, right?
Sometimes you got to do what you need to do to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Tommy makes a statement that I'm like, bruh.
Do it one more time like that. What?
One more time. Bruh. Tommy makes a statement that this is the most successful dating experiment show. Did you catch that?
I did. Now, has it had some success?
Maybe we need to define success.
Right.
Maybe
it's
success
minimal.
is what needs to be defined.
Right. Maybe
because making it 10 seasons on the Oprah Winfrey Network, yes. That's success. Making
as
it 10 seasons.
As a black, I
can give you that
relationship reality TV show.
The fact that they've gone 10 seasons without like a knockout drag out fight.
Yes, right. People were respectful for the majority of part.
Maybe they've gone 10 seasons without being the
police showing up.
Without the police showing up, yep, that's success, right? Going 10 seasons without somebody spitting on another person.
Oh,
that's success, right?
Or have we had anyone? No one's threw liquor on anyone either, has there?
I don't think we've had that.
Nope. So
that's success.
That's success.
So success has to be defined. But the statement as far as most successful dating show, period, we're going to call cap.
I think it's a little excessive, but guess what? He's on the show. They're paying him. I'm going to say it's successful.
He got to say whatever Oprah and Bill Packer tell him to say. We're going to say that.
And some people have made connections in their long-term relationships. We've seen a couple of that.
True. In fact, that leads into, we have our first Ready to Love wedding. First one, yes.
I was a little surprised who came out, though.
I was, because I thought, and again, the rumor that I heard was that it was going to be, I forgot their names, but they were from the DC episodes, DC seasons. One was from one series, and then the other one was from the second series.
Yeah, because they did two.
They did two in DC. Yep. So it was Walt, I think was his name, and then I forgot the other young lady's name. I had heard that that's kind of who it was, but it was surprising. It was Camille and Cornelius.
Yes.
Which, now, full disclosure, I wasn't a fan of their relationship when they were on.
Would you say the relationship or
how they operated? Particularly how she moved.
Yes,
we could say how she was portrayed.
Right.
Either way, I was not a fan.
Right. I hear you.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your butt.
But the fact that they found love, we applaud that.
Oh, I applaud love. Well, because I knew they were going to be together. I think I didn't have faith enough that he was going to really assert himself to lead.
Gotcha.
Because she was very strong in what she wanted. And because he was more reserved.
Yes.
And so I was concerned that he wasn't going to be assertive enough to keep the relationship together.
Yes. And I think, and that may have led to my feeling the way I felt in some respects.
Yes. But thankfully for both of them.
Yes.
He was assertive and said, listen, you're going to have to allow me to lead. You need to chill out.
Right.
Because she was kind of high energy about wanting to get married, boo, 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 boo.
He learned how to he used his quiet energy in a way to redirect and to kind of calm her down.
Yes. And he was, again, he stated that he told her, as she stated, that if she wants to be in his life, he has to lead.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And I think sometimes some women needs that because when you're at a place where you've been single for a long time, you've been doing this, and nobody wants to be burned again. Like we're tired of playing the games. We're tired of, people coming in and out of our lives. And so at some point we're like, we want this, and we could be a little bit more coming on a little bit strongly on towards that other person. And I liked how he's like, I told her. And it sounds like he's stuck with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them and their marriage.
Yes, absolutely.
You
I
know.
think that's God. So once again, we give them the applause, kudos, everything, right? Hope that they have a great marriage.
Oh,
a great
yes.
life together. Absolutely.
Yes.
Right?
Marriage is a wonderful thing.
It is.
But
when
it
it's done right.
WORK.
It is a 4-letter word. Marriage is a 4-letter word called
Marriage
work.
is a 4-letter word.
All right. So they get married. Zadia, and I forgot the other guy's name from
Yes.
their seasons, come to stand.
Yeah.
And it's acknowledged that they're going to do an actual real formal ceremony back in their area.
Yeah, in the evening.
Yes.
That's what they indicated.
Whenever. So they're going to do it. All right. So, of course, they do the bouquet toss. And Angie is like,
She's
listen.
snatching it. The men were like scared. Like, oh, snap. She's trying to get married right after
Right.
the season over.
Right. It was like, okay, you catch a bouquet. Don't be looking at me right now.
Right. No. Hold on to it for a while.
So we find out this is the first of two mixes because at that moment we're looking at like, have we met everybody?
1, 2, 3. I'm like, are we sure? I think we're sure.
This is something they've been doing the last couple of seasons where they have the mixers split to try and give a better opportunity to kind of connect.
Right.
The challenge with that is as Tommy kind of said, was that two people would be going home, which we're again like,
Well,
no.
I guess we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Yes.
Okay.
No, we'll get to it. But then, but Tommy does say, give the warning, two people will be leaving. Okay. So as far as some of the connections and things that we were saying, Angie is talking to Wayne. She loves his height. And, you know, they talk about family. Angie's like, listen, I come up from a big family. She got 6 brothers. He's like, oh.
There was 11 kids in total.
That's one of them old school.
11 kids.
Listen, I don't know of too many families that are doing
11 children. Not in this age.
Unless your name is the Duggars or whoever else.
Okay. Unless you getting paid to be on TV.
Unless it's like blended. You got 3, I got 4.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Something like that.
So that's when he was like, hold on. She's like, yeah, I got 6 brothers. Oh, so when I go in, I got to meet like 6 dudes to get approval? That's a lot.
And if I mess up, I got 6 people looking for me?
Okay. A minimum.
Because that ain't going to take into account aunties, uncles, cousins.
Jeez.
Right? But she says she's really attracted to him. Okay. Deanna, again, she's feeling Jay. She says he reminds her of Omar Epps.
Slightly. Well, like in the eye
fact
area.
That they black?
No, I mean, I get where she's going. So slightly, if you look in the eyes, if he had a different haircut, he would be very, no, for real.
I know. I'm just talking about the haircut, but go ahead. Go do your work. Go ahead.
I'm mad that you said it, but slightly. I get where she's going, but I'm like, that's a stretch.
If you squint and have had about 6 mimosas.
If he was called up and his hair was cut a different way, I could see like it could be they could be related, like cousins.
Okay.
So,
I'll take your word for it. I just don't see it, but okay.
I saw what she was getting at.
I'm
it was
glad
in
you
the
did.
eyes.
Naeem's hanging out with True. True, we find out, is 35. She's a brand partnership manager. Trying to just kind of, because again, we're jumping through. There's no real drama, if you will. There's just kind of some snippets and connections, right?
And they're mingling, and so they're having conversations. They're capturing and everything. So
Jay is feeling Kiara, and Kiara caught a lot of attention when she first walked in. She's very curvy.
Yeah.
Right? He has 2 kids, and he was in a relationship for 11 years. So he has the longevity, if you will, to at least so, in my opinion. Which, when we get to him talking to, who was he talking to?
He was talking to
True.
Talking to True.
And True was like, "Oh, so you can't commit." He's like,
no, because he was trying to be playful. He was like, in my Playboy days, You a playboy? He's like, no, I'm not saying that. He's like, I wasn't. So you a hoe? He's like, oh, hold on. He's like, hold on. I'm not sleeping with everything. I was dating. And so things with that casual.
Right.
But he's like, I'm not just sleeping with everybody just to sleep with everybody.
Right.
And so he started to get, he was offended.
Yeah.
You know?
I can understand.
I can understand. I was like, sometimes I feel like with women, if a man would say that, we would get offended. But we feel like it's okay to say that to men, that because in the back of our minds, there's still these things playing in the back of our minds that men are dogs. All men are not dogs. So they have certain standards as you.
Right.
They may have occasional sex, and they are dating. They're not, all of them are not hoeing around and just sleeping whatever just because the leg is open. So give them the respect, right?
I hear you, yes.
You're just meeting the person, find out. So he's trying to be playful, and then all of a sudden he feels himself being end up being combative with her, and he's trying to cool down. You can see him.
Slow your roll.
He's trying to like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and let you go because I feel like we're getting in a place that we shouldn't go.
Right.
Which I appreciate that.
Yes.
Because he could be like trying to get his stance like we've seen in other seasons where they got out of place where they had to apologize.
Yeah.
So
other things that we saw that were interesting. Will, who's 41, I forgot what he does, but he's been divorced twice.
Yes. Oh, he's the biotech recruiter.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's a very interesting, very detailed title.
He's a recruiter.
So
he just focused in the biotech area. That's all it is. Just like, you might have a customer service recruiter. All right. Biotech. All right. So, but he got married both times after he lost a parent. So after his mom died, and he said later on, he was like, I really like her.
But he said because that was the last person his mom met that he was dating. I'm like, the logic in that
is wild.
Now, I get it, right? You lost someone, and so obviously you want to be like consoled, but you like went to the courthouse, signed paperwork.
Right.
Well, you're going to have to get divorced and he said it lasted a year?
Both of them lasted a year.
Why would you? I wouldn't even marry you. I'd be like, nah, dude, you good. Let's wait 2 years after your mom or your relative have passed a while and see if you're still wanting to be in
a relationship.
Right.
So he's talking with Sahara, and he makes a statement. He says something about a chronic masturbator.
Oh, because he was talking about her last relationship.
Yes, it had been a while.
Yeah.
So that never works well, in my opinion. When you're go immediately to sexual connotation or sexual talk, it very rarely goes very well. Right. And so that wasn't the only. He made another statement a little later that was just like, bruh, pump your brakes, pull it back for a moment.
He reminds me of a type that they cast last season. Yeah. Where kind of have no filter.
Will Packer got a type. Will Packer got a type.
So he doesn't
got types, I should say.
He got type. He doesn't have a filter. So he's kind of saying everything off the cuff, and he's kind of like jokingly. He's trying to make a joke.
It's like he thinks it, and before he can finish thinking it and be like think it all the way through, he just says it.
Yeah, and I was like, again, that can be very off-putting for women. Like you said, women don't want to hear or come across as a sexual tone in it when you're talking to them.
Yes.
So he might need to reel it back.
Just a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah. My just a little bit was very sarcastic, but yes, he needs to pull it back. Naeem is talking with Kiara, right? Mm-hmm. And find out she has a 14-year-old and a 7-year-old boy.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, how many kids you got? 5. He got 5 kids by 3 different baby mothers.
And that's what she asked. She's like, how many mothers, how much drama comes along with this? And he goes, well, you know, we're at a place that we're not as much drama. Bro, you got 5 kids by 3. You need to own your own business because you got to make all them
You got to figure out. You got to make sure
you got his own PE class.
You got a basketball team. But again, this, in my opinion, is another instance of Will Packer has a type, because this is not the first person that's come on the show as far as a man that has like 5 kids.
Yeah.
Or has more
multiple children.
2, 3, 5, especially if we're talking, looking into, because I just think my personal opinion is, I don't know, as a man, I don't know if I want to jump into a situation where a woman has 5 kids. Likewise, for a woman, I don't know that you're looking to jump into a situation where he has 5 kids.
Depending on their age, right? I think that's
if we're talking 5 kids and you're 55,
he's in his
30s, I think.
So yeah, they got another 20 years.
We're talking. So that's just me.
But this is reality, right? In some cases,
it's some people's reality,
right? But I think for Ready to Love is showing there's a diversity of people looking for love.
I got you.
And I know for him, this is probably a challenge in him finding love if he says he's ready to settle down with one person.
Yeah.
So I feel like it does need to be portrayed in the show.
Okay.
Because there is a challenge. So this can help all brothers and sisters. Keep your numbers down. Look, I'm serious, because sometimes people say it's like, oh, it just happened.
That includes body count too. Keep your body count.
Because he has 3 different women that he had children with, So it speaks for a couple things. Hey, make sure you're doing what you need to do, that you're not having to, because if you don't feel like, the relationship's going to go where it's going to go.
Because basically, if let's say Eddie and or what's his name, Naeem and Kiara, they talking about an instant Brady Bunch right there.
Yeah, and that's what she was mentioning. And so a lot of times we're not thinking about all that when we're in this relationship with someone, So I think it's necessary to show in this show, because those people are deserving of love if they're ready to mature and say, hey, I'm at a place where you're going to be my wifey. There's 5 kids. He didn't say they're all with him as well. So, I don't know. Hopefully we'll learn more how many are living with him.
I can't remember. It was someone that said that they had their kids.
It was I want to say it was the cybersecurity brother, Jay.
Okay.
Is he the one, the cybersecurity?
I believe so.
Because he has both his girl and his daughter with him.
Gotcha. Okay.
Majority of the time.
Okay.
The mother is in Virginia.
Gotcha. That's the right word.
So, again, which is, hey, if you're dating, is less likely you're going to date someone without kids within this age range.
Absolutely.
Okay.
True. Yeah.
Sometimes some people are
it's just the number.
It's just the number.
Just the number, right? True is feeling Eddie. Calls him fine. He starts getting the nickname of Rick Fox.
Yes. Again,
now I can see that a little more than Omar Epps. I can see that just a little more.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not saying you catch them in the street, you're gonna be like, oh, that's Rick Fox. No, I'm not saying that.
Right, because the first time you see him, that's not what I'm thinking.
Right.
But I get it.
I get it.
But Rick Fox hasn't been on a show in a minute.
Rick Fox be on shows all the time.
What show?
He would be on the game. Rick Fox.
Oh, I don't watch the game.
I know you don't. But
he's still on the game?
Well, that show doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, that's what I thought.
What I'm saying is Rick Fox, he's still acting. He's still.
What's the last thing Rick Fox did?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't check for that man that much.
Okay, keep going. I'm gonna
go look that up. All right, find that out. Pull up his IMDb. All right. So anyway, who else? So, but the other thing is, Deanna initially tells Eddie that she's a stripper. And I made the statement. So,
well, hold on, finish. And he said, for real?
He's like, for real?
And then she's
like, no, I'm a firefighter.
I'm a firefighter.
And my statement was, either way, she know how to work poles. Because either she's going to slide down the fireman's pole or slide down a stripper pole.
Last time Rick Fox was on a show with Ballers, 2019.
Okay, that's That's just before COVID. Listen, we have had, granted, these past 5 years, 6 years have felt like a whole century. So I get that.
Some people probably like, who's Rick Fox? When they
look up, I'll see if I can put his picture up somewhere in here.
They were like, who's?
He was a former basketball player. He was pretty Ricky, what they call him. Pretty Ricky, what they called him.
Yeah.
But he was a basketball player who turned his career into acting as Rick Fox. All right. So I'm trying to think what else. Again, Tommy talks. So Tommy then comes through and he's like, all right, we're going to have our conversations. We're going to talk. We're going to make some decisions. We're going to make some cuts. Somebody got to go. So as far as who was catching interest, Deanna was catching a lot of interest. Kira also was catching a lot of interest. As far as those are the two that were mentioned, as far as most of the guys were mentioning, as far as positive feedback, positive vibes, whatever. Sahara was not being felt. True was not being felt. True was being treated a little like she was a little aggressive, and that probably stemmed from that conversation she had.
It was more of her like 21 questions.
Yeah.
They said she was kind of a little stiff, like she was corporate. So she needed to have more fun is kind of what the feedback again, Tommy gave her.
If you've been a fan of Ready to Love, she fits a type. She is just, in my opinion, she is just another iteration of, I think Tasia was one that like that initially. There was another lady who was a lawyer, I think, in the first few seasons.
I think they try to give a good variety of what people will see on the dating scene.
They do.
You know, because you're going to find that type.
She's that type.
Yeah. And then Sahara, am I saying her name right? She's that spiritualist, got that Erykah Badu, homie girl vibe type.
I think you better call Tyrone.
Okay, because you're going to burn a candle on you.
Call him.
So they like, hey, you're not like homeboy kind of type vibe. Like I can see that's the girl like my friend. Hey, we're going to a club. You want to come and hang out?
True.
I need you to burn a candle for me.
Yes.
Kind of friend.
Right. And then on the other side, when Tommy's talking with the ladies, Jay is getting mentioned a few times, and Eddie is also being mentioned a few times. So those are the two that are catching interest. Naeem was not being felt, and what was brought up one time was the 5 kids.
Yeah, it's the children more than anything.
And then Will, they said he was just Def Comedy Jam all day. They couldn't really get him to be serious about anything.
So they didn't know his depthness.
Right.
Which makes sense.
So Tommy's like, all right, we're going to make some cuts. Folks come forward. So he calls Will and Naeem forward. And we think that Will is going home. He calls Sahara and True forward. Sahara's going home, right? And then we find out Tommy's like, okay, I'm going to give y'all a curveball early, which I think Tommy's been watching, or Will Packer's been watching.
That's what I was about to think.
This was one of our suggestions.
They took an idea.
Stop cutting people early.
Yes, because they didn't get to meet the other group.
Right.
And so obviously the first group may not be feeling them, but the next 10 people, you know, they might be getting a better vibe from that person.
Right. And we'll see, because my hope is that they don't cut anyone from this next mixer either.
Right.
Right. Now, the only thing I would say is from the next mixer, if let's say Sahara and what's his name, Will are in the bottom in the next mixer, then I would be fine with cutting them at that point, simply because they've basically had the experience or the opportunity to meet everybody.
Right.
And nobody's feeling them.
And Sahara, she was like, oh, y'all jokers?
She's like, I'm done
y'all
with y'all.
Voted for me? Don't come looking for me when we're at the brunch tomorrow.
Don't hit me up.
Don't hit me up. Don't hee in my face because I got a candle with your name on it. It's pretty much I got.
She probably went home, started burning some sage, got her little.
She was
doll.
like, I don't want to hear from none of y'all jokers. Now this is the thing. I wouldn't have done that. I get your feelings are hurt.
Right.
But you're not listening to what Tommy is saying.
Right.
They're saying they don't want a home girl. They want to find love. And so, okay, I hear the feedback. How can I make the adjustment? I'm going to try not to take it personal. Those men don't know you.
Right.
And so you came in with the first impression like you were out at TLC. Mm-hmm. You were in the group because that's how you were dressed, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah.
So you came in real casual, which again, if that's your vibe, that's
your
cool.
Vibe. That's cool.
But along with being casual,
take the feedback.
You were being casual in your conversation.
Yep.
So if your conversation wasn't flirty, your conversation wasn't like, hey, I'm here to get to know because I'm looking for love, then the men took it a certain way.
Yep.
Because if we see the preview for the trailer, you see she switch it up and she had a cute dress and stuff on.
She did.
So she was like, I'm about to bring the sexy in. Baby girl, then just bring the sexy, right. And then you bring that other outfit when y'all hanging out, going to lounge.
When y'all go to bowling.
Right. So they get to see two sides of you, right?
Right.
But on the first one, I do want to catch your attention.
Right.
I want to be flirty. I want to bring a little sexy to it. Mm-hmm. And so then when we go on the second day, I'm going to have the little crop top with the little jogger mm-hmm. on and my little medallion or whatever.
Right.
So, but she was like, yeah. And so you're only bringing to like, oh, I did the right thing by voting.
Right. Right. So that's the challenge there. All right.
Put it in the comments if I'm telling the truth.
Facts. All right. That's it for this one. I think we've covered everything. I'm looking forward to this season.
Mm-hmm. I am too. You see, I'm excited.
I get it. Yeah.
I'm in it.
Yes.
I'm in it.
All right. So anyway, listen, we appreciate you all stopping through. Do us a favor. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Who are you most looking forward to? And let me give me permission to be petty. I'm gonna ask y'all for permission to be petty.
Don't do that, y'all. Because don't do it. He wants to do something. Don't do that.
Back. I was like,
don't do it. Don't give him permission to do that. We don't want him to go there because he never gets out.
You do. You do. I know you right there. You do. All right. Anyway, listen.
She's like, be petty for me. Be petty for me.
Let me be the voice of your pettiness.
The voice of pettiness.
My name is Kevin. I am your pettiness for hire.
Pettiness for hire. You gonna go in
to
the job place and be petty on their behalf?
I will go in. Listen, that might be a job right there. I will go in.
Hey, in this economy, we gotta pay for eggs. We need eggs in our house.
Yes, in this era that we are. All right, listen, that's it for this time. We appreciate y'all stopping through. Again, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications, and share. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Peace.